Now, I had I live in North Dakota. I'm not far from Minnesota, like maybe 20, 30 miles. But I got an email from Minnesota yesterday, wanted to kind of enroll in a program that they have set up for contact tracing. This is, again, one of them boondoggles, but I'm sure there's a lot of money involved in this. They'll get a lot of federal money to do this, but it can't possibly work. The idea is then if you have been in contact with somebody who later tests positive for COVID, then you will be informed that, but it's like that game, silly thing like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Everybody eventually, rather quickly, would be all linked together. Because everybody in some way has had contact with, like if I go into a store, okay, everybody who's been in that store before me would be on that contact list. It can't possibly work. But I'm thinking, they're probably gonna set up a hell of a bureaucracy to run this thing, and like I said, they'll get a lot of federal money to do it. But I would want no part in that, because like I say, it can't possibly work. I mean, you can do contact tracing on a limited, like if there's a party, well, okay, who all was at this party? If 20 people test positive, okay, then you got something to work with. But just a random thing in the public like that, it's impossible for it to work. But, like I say, there's money involved in that. Because that was funny because, normally if I go out someplace, I have very limited contact with people, but there again, like I say, you go into a store, okay, then all of a sudden, whoop, all this, because they're going to be tracking you by your phone. Now, you think of the huge amount of computer power and technology involved in to be able to do this, to link all this stuff up together, when it can't possibly serve a purpose, it can't work. In the end, like I say, everybody's going to be involved in this. But I thought it's funny because now, like say, I have multiple phones, and normally the one that I use when I go someplace is the one that says I am in Eureka, Kansas. Something screwed up in the phone, and in some way it thinks I'm in Eureka. So it's going to screw up their whole thing, but the idea that they want to be able to trace everybody, where everybody is all the time, in the name of science, to control this pandemic thing, that's impossible. And anybody with any brains looking at this knows this can't possibly work. But Minnesota's going to try to do that. Well, I won't be involved in it, certainly. It annoys me that they even were able to contact me, but it must have been, it wasn't a regular email, it was it must have been through Verizon, that they had the list that my name or my number was on. But I don't even like that, But they love to do that sort of thing. But like I say, all they have to do is think logically about this. It couldn't possibly work. It could, like I say, in a very limited, closed environment it could work, but wide open world it can't work. But yet they're going to waste a lot of money on that. Oh well, just another one of them things that they like to do that serve no earthly purpose. I was going to say like masks, but can't say that. Can't say, oh, masks are a wonderful thing. And all them looters, they just love wearing masks. So you can't run masks down. They serve a purpose.